Building a home network needs to be simple, it needs to be effective, expandable, and dependable. So let's break down mine. I have two modems. This one came from AT&T, which is going to be provided by your local internet provider. And this one I got from Goodwill for $10. One thing before I got into setting up my home network was I just had the AT&T modem and everything ran off Wi-Fi. TV, PlayStation, switches, cell phones, even my home computer I ran off Wi-Fi just because I thought it was easier, but I didn't realize that I was cutting into my performance. So I started running Ethernet lines everywhere. I wanted a hard line in as much as possible. It helps with, the Wi-Fi pull down on the signal from everybody being on it. And I just think it makes everything a little bit more reliable. So the AT&T modem brings me internet in, and then I distribute that out. So I have my PlayStation plugged in, I have my Switch, my TV, and a Nintendo Switch, I should say, and a Switch that is in my basement. The AT&T modem I plug in, and I have a 100-foot Cat 8 Ethernet cable that runs all the way to my she shed, which is my wife's office, which we're in right now. We call it the Sumo Schoolhouse. Story for another time. And then that plugs into the Goodwill modem, which gives me Wi-Fi out here, and it gives me extra Ethernet ports if I need to plug in, like my wife plugs in for work out here. So for the switch, I have, from my AT&T modem, I have one coming in, I have one going out to the Sumo Schoolhouse, I have one going to my main computer at home, I have one going to my server. That leaves me one blank spot. One thing I like about this switch is that it basically makes one port on my AT&T router 5. Well, I guess 4, because one has to be plugged into power. I really like the simplicity of plug and play. You can get ones that you have to manage. I don't know that I'm ready for that yet, but I think when I can, it'll be easy to adapt my system to it. As I expand this, I want to make sure that everything is organized. I can easily adapt it if I need to. These are Raspberry Pi 4s that used to be crypto miners. I was mining helium coin, and that kind of faded out. The way the helium mining changed, they went to 5G. So these were kind of obsolete. I could probably still use them as crypto miners. I'm not going to. I'm using the Pi inside. I have one that's going to be designated for a Pi hole, which is a ad blocker, and I can make this other one a VPN for my home. I haven't done that yet, but they both have Ethernet ports in them that I can connect to a switch. One thing that I don't like about these new MacBooks are the old ones, they had Ethernet ports that you can plug in and be hardlined into your system. So everything runs off Wi-Fi on this, which is fine. But in a pinch, I'd like to have access. I think just having hardline in makes things easier. And I didn't used to think that. This is a diagram of how my entire system's set up. As you can see, there's Ethernet cables going everywhere. One thing that I wasn't prepared for is the amount of Ethernet that I needed to run or have in my system. I highly recommend getting your own connections and crimpers, and you can make your own Ethernet cables for whatever desired length instead of buying 2-foot sections, 3-foot sections, 15, 20-foot sections. You can just customize it, run your own, crimp your own, and stay out of the mess of walking Micro Center looking for the right size. Do I want Cat 6, 7, 8? You can have it all at home, ready to go. Eventually I might, I'm definitely gonna need to expand my switch at some point. I have one spot left. Not to mention I have stuff in the Sumo Schoolhouse. I have plenty of Ethernet to run if I needed stuff out here, but I think having the ability to expand is going to be clutch in this expanding little ecosystem that I'm making. If you want to follow along as I build out this system, please subscribe, add comments, give me your thoughts on what I could improve, what should I do different, or maybe what your system is.